Delta Force, Hawk Ops, everybody. What is up?
Delta Force.
So Steam had their Next Fest this couple weeks ago, and finally I was able to get my hands on Delta Force Hawk Ops. I told these hooligans about it. They didn't download it.
I was.
They were busy, quote unquote busy, doing other things. 'Cause they have a life, supposedly. I have a life, but I played it, but whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But Delta Force Hawk Ops is here. They're going to have a full open PC beta in December, and this game is dropping sometime in 2025. So downloaded it, was really excited to jump into it because now that I've kind of put aside Battlefield 2042, I had a blast at that game, but it's just like, at a certain point, it's time to move on to other things. So I did, and this came out, and I was like, I'm going to download it and check it out. So in this demo, it featured what they call Havoc Warfare, which is essentially their large-scale open Battlefield-style game mode.
God, it looks just like Battlefield. I know.
It looks just like Battlefield. There's two other modes to it. One is a campaign. There will be a full campaign. I did actually learn there's two campaigns. One of the campaigns is a remake of Black Hawk Down that came out forever ago. Cool. And the other one is a modern day story.
Yeah, they announced that.
But I just didn't realize it was both of them in the same game.
Okay.
Like all part of one package. I thought it was being distributed in some other manner. And then they have a extraction shooter mode that was available, but I didn't play much of that because I don't really care about extraction shooters. So I focused on this. So in this, there's three main game modes within the Havoc Warfare space. And one is like kind of your breakthrough style, push and pull. So like you go up and you have like 2 points to capture. You attack those. The other team is defending them and you push and pull. Then you have the big open one where it's just like conquest, where there's a bunch of points on the map. You capture those points. Then they had one where it was much smaller domination style. So think like domination in Call of Duty or whatever, where there's like, or Destiny even, where there's like 3 points. And there's 1 point on this close to the one side, 1 point towards your side, and 1 point in the middle. And as you move forward, you're kind of pushing against each other. If you capture a point on the map, you can actually then spawn on that point and push the front line further up. But it's a smaller version of the map you're playing.
So like Battlefield?
Well, there isn't a Battlefield mode like this. This is nothing like on Battlefield. This is like
wait, you capture a point, you spawn on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it's like pushing the front line forward, whereas like breakthrough is like a whole bunch of points that you're pushing forward and back. This is like there's 3 points in an infantry style map that you go and capture one of them, and then you push yourself up, but you can still spawn your main one. The other team is coming this direction, but there's also 2 points there that are uncontested. It feels much more like a Destiny capture point system. But in Destiny, you can't spawn on those points because the map's so small. But in this one, you can spawn closer inward if you want to. It's a variation of that, but it's like not breakthrough. It's like a smaller version of breakthrough, but it's different than breakthrough in that there's not 2 points that both teams are fighting for. It's 3 points, but if you get one, anybody can always grab that point and take it over. Whereas in breakthrough, it's forced. There's 2 points. You're pushing and you're pulling. And this one, it's more variable. So you could like sneak around the back and get this point over here, but this point over here is occupied by this one team. And there's like, they're all open to anybody to take, basically. But it's very much infantry focus in that game mode. And then I think that was all the game modes. I think there was 3. There might've been 4, but anyway. So that's the game modes. And then there was 2 maps in the game that I was able to see. There might be 3, but I only really played on 2 of them. One felt like a strike at Karkan, and one was more open, big, massive one. The one that you guys are watching right now is the bigger, like more massive map. It was mostly focused on Conquest.
This looks like a clone of fucking Battlefield.
It kind of is a clone of Battlefield in a way.
I feel like all suits in play.
I feel like they almost like copied it. But technically, this game existed before Battlefield did. So technically Battlefield copied them.
Okay.
Because back when this game came out, because I played Delta Force.
Yeah, I now just see Battlefield. Yeah, I just see Battlefield.
Yeah. I played Delta Force Land Warrior.
Like even the text.
In like 2001, before Battlefield ever came out. And it was this type of combat. But it was very sparse and whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's very much like, hey, we're going to take the Battlefield formula and just do it differently. slightly differently, but it's very similar to Battlefield. But what I like about it is it feels like a Battlefield 4. So it's like, instead of it being like, far future based stuff, it is modern day stuff.
I appreciate that.
And so you have your regular, Apache helicopters and all that stuff. I mean, it is Battlefield, but free to play. And that's kind of I think the big clincher here is that could this be something that they basically took they pulled an Epic Games essentially, where it's just like, hey, let's just copy PUBG and make Fortnite and free to play, and then bam, all of a sudden, we take over everything.
What makes this different besides free to play compared to Battlefield?
So I think the big differences here are probably going to be it's free to play. There you go.
Jesus Christ. Fuck off.
I mean, okay, so a couple they're very minor. They're very minor, but the gameplay is fun. Like the shooting is fun. I mean, this map even looks honestly like one of the Battlefield maps.
Yeah, it does.
2042, you know what I mean?
I feel like it looks better. Like the game looks better.
Yeah, the game plays great. It has the operators system that 2042 had, so you have like your little heroes or whatever. That system's a little bit different. It's kind of interesting because what you have is you have a special ability. So like I play the assault class a lot, and the assault class has a special ultimate ability, if you will, that makes them have unlimited sprint and super fast for a period of time.
That's cool.
So I can if I want to run in and rush a base, I can activate that super sprint and run in there real quick and just keep sprinting and just take people out, fire, you know what I mean? And then you have a special grenade, and then you have a special weapon. So the assault had the ability to have a smoke grenade, so I could throw a smoke grenade out, mask the area, and then rush in. And in this game, the smoke is 100%, you can't see shit through the smoke. Like in Battlefield and some other games, you can see a little bit. In this one, you really can't see much of anything. It's pretty much completely covered up. And then you also get a multi-grenade launcher that basically shoots out. You shoot it, and it does choom, 3 shots that are sticky grenades. And they are used to take down tanks and take down infantry and kind of clear out an area. And then I played a sniper, and the sniper class had a bow and arrow that when you shoot the bow and arrow, it actually creates a beacon that reveals enemies in the area of where you're shooting at.
It's like recon.
Yeah, it's like a little recon thing. And then there was some engineer classes or operators and stuff like that. And based on the operators you pick, it also limits what weapons you can choose. So you have different loadouts you can pick for each operator type. So you could have the assault operator with a SMG based weapon, and then one with an assault rifle based weapon. And you can build those loadouts, and each gun actually has full, you can customize them with attachments and shit, just like in all these games have now. So change out optics, change out muzzles, the grips, all that stuff you can upgrade and unlock and change as time goes on. It does have vehicles, as you guys see. The vehicles are very similar to how Battlefield operates, where you pick them from the map and then you spawn into them. They're not visibly on the map itself. But what I like about this is that I feel like the vehicles aren't as punishing as Battlefield. Whereas in Battlefield, I feel like you can get overrun by tanks pretty easily. In this one, it seems like there's a little bit better balance with vehicle. This game, as much as there are vehicles in this game, it is 80% infantry combat. So I appreciate that. It's very much focused around the infantry combat scenarios versus vehicular combat. Whereas I feel Battlefield definitely leans on vehicles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if there are tanks out there, they're relatively easy to take down. There's a lot of stuff to counter them, which I think is also a good thing. But the gunplay feels really good. I was playing it, and I was the first match I played, I got 25 kills and 6 deaths or something. And my team was running pretty well. There is a squad system like you'd expect. You can spawn your squad mates. You can drop in squad beacon. I mean, it is a Battlefield clone in so many ways, but
it doesn't do it better.
But power-ups are different.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think it does some things better, but I think what's nice is this. For me, this is a good holdover until the next Battlefield drops. Whereas we don't have 20. I don't want to play 2042 anymore. I mean, I do. I like 2042, but if this comes out, it's free to play. We can get anybody to jump into it and play it. The game runs. I was running ultra graphics, not ultra, but like high graphics, like 70 to 90 frames per second. So it runs well, and it feels like a Battlefield 3 and 4. The one thing though that's not in this game is destruction is not near as prominent. So they don't do destruction like Battlefield does. But everything else feels a lot like Battlefield and plays well. And the fact that there's a full campaign in it that I'm kind of interested in could be fun. The tactical shooter's fun.
Campaign at least.
Everything's free to play.
Free.
Whole thing's free to play. So there'll of course be a lot of cosmetics and shit that come in later on, but I'm interested. I'm definitely interested.
Active on the map, huh?
So when do we expect this? Apparently, consoles is going to be Q1 of next year. So is this going to come out
Victory.
earlier this year?
Earlier next year, yeah.
Or it's not earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, is this going to come out this year?
No, it's not. They've already confirmed it's not coming out this year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's coming out. The open beta is December
5th.
Yeah. So I would imagine they'll probably drop it like first 3 months of January. It's in a good spot right now. I just don't know where the campaign is, like how that's progressing. And I would assume that's probably pretty locked, but
I mean, you can have that come out later. You don't need that out now. Just
yeah.
It's multiplayer.
But it's primed and ready. Like the game, like when you load up the game, like you can pick campaign, tactical warfare, and Havoc warfare. Like that's already in the game. So I would imagine they're probably going to drop it at the same time. I would imagine it's pretty much done.
And the next Battlefield's supposed to come out next year, around October or November.
Yeah.
So Battle of the Battlefields.
Battle
Yeah.
of the Battlefields.
I mean, if it's free to play, I mean, I guess it depends what Battlefield's going to bring to the table. I mean, if this comes out before it, I can see a lot of people just sticking with this. I mean, I know Battlefield's like the name,
Yeah.
but I don't know. They'd have to have some really cool stuff. I mean, I'd probably get both, but
Oh man, this one's free to play, so yeah.
yeah.
Fucking why not?
And it plays well. I mean, it played well, right? Smooth gunplay.
Played great. I mean, it felt like a Battlefield game from the gunplay. All the the guns were different. Like the sniper rifle, that was one thing actually really surprised me. Was the sniper rifle is very. You have to lead your shot. Like you have to. I mean, if you have somebody in the distance, like you see that bullet drop a lot, so you got to really kind of like counteract that and stuff like that. So they put some thought into the weapons and stuff, and there's a lot of variety there with the weapon types. I also noticed.
I know.
Oh, it's so much. Like it's kind of a clone in a way, but nobody's gone up against them. It's kind of crazy until now, but it feels good, and I'm into it. But it's like it's got it's definitely the more present day kind of vibe. I'll be curious to know how many maps come with it as well, because I haven't seen how many maps are gonna have. Like they only had 3 here, but I'll be curious to see what that looks like later on. But yeah, Delta Force, Hawk Ops, it's out, it's there. We can jump in the full beta in December.
I'm ready. I'm ready to play this beta.
Yeah. Right for a campaign.
Yeah, it could be pretty fun. I also am curious about the tactical thing, the extraction shooter stuff, because I remember because I was upset when they brought out one of the first trailers in this game, and that it looked like you were like doing a heist mission, breaking into like a bank or whatever, and I was like, that's not what Delta Force is, because Delta Force was like a Battlefield alternative, like back in the day, like it was big maps. It wasn't as high number count, but like it was big maps where you'd roll up on these hills and like you would tactically take people out in these big open areas and stuff, and like I was hoping for that to come back, and it hadn't until now, but they've done a pretty good job at capturing that and copying a lot of Battlefield's modern day antics and stuff. Yeah, it's good. There's some good players in here too. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, you see that bullet drop.
Yeah,
I like it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Delta Force.
I'm down. I'm excited.
Yep, free to play, coming out on PC. I think it's going to come on console too. I can't remember, but
So we're gonna have Battle Pass, paid Battle Pass, and all that stuff probably.
oh yeah,
More
yeah.
likely.
Paid
There's already a
cosmetics.
battle pass in here that you can start working unlocks towards. So you get experience for your gun, for your character, and then for the battle pass that will give you skins and special
That
stuff.
reminds me of the old Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like every gun had its own level up system, and each class had its own level up system, and
Yeah.
start unlocking new things, and I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's what's his face?
I don't know.
It's Thor. Oh,
Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
There you go. Delta Force Hawk Ops, y'all. Check it out in December when it drops on PC in beta form. We'll have to jump into it and do some streaming of it or something.